What's up? What's up? It's been a few days, probably. Okay. Shit right here. All right. You're gonna go in just to it. Breakups, right? And this is for the people who have been in relationships or they are in one, or they think they might jump into one, right? And they want to prepare themselves with a breakup. They've seen somebody, a friend, neighbor, heard something, the TV, how bad, you know, it hurts, right? Both parties, but especially men, when they don't know how to approach a female nature, right? So the reason why a breakup for the last 2 days, people have been talking about it, right, at work and here on Reddit. So I think I can talk about that, right? Because I've been through, a few, and well, here's my model on breakups, right? A breakup leads to a breakthrough, period, right? And at the moment, we don't see it like that. Of course, heartaches, headaches is just symptoms of a legitimate transformation that you're going through, right? But of course, is not a very comfortable situation, right? Not necessarily physical, but more mental. And it's not like how you prepare for a breakup. I don't think you can prepare for a breakup. It's not kind of like an apocalypse. Like you prepare because you don't know like what you're gonna be dealing with, right? I know you're gonna be dealing with something challenging, but at the same time, you don't know exactly what it is, right? Until it hits you or comes. So, on my behalf, I can say that how can you deal with a breakup, right? Not how prepare to a breakup. How can you embrace that situation? It's just another situation in life, an experience that is gonna take you to another level of understanding of human nature, right? It is. It's just inevitable. Breakups, like I said, breakups lead to breakthroughs. What's a breakthrough? It's some development, some quite quick success, right? Something you're not expecting that is most positive, right? So, how can you embrace a breakup? Is it's a time where you will understand, right? But this is the catch. This is the tricky part because you're in pain, right? What's up? What's up? You're in pain and your mind is foggy. So you kind of don't understand what's going on. And I understand that, right? But if you speak to yourself that a breakup, it's another experience, right? Under your belt, it gives you that leverage that you will need, okay? Because it happens to everyone and it happens to everybody at some point in their lives. And that automatically suits your mind as a human being. It's just nature. It's just how nature is. Like if you see something bad happens to you and you look around like, okay, a lot of people they're going through the same situation, it doesn't feel as bad. For some reason, it's just human nature, right? It's just how we react in the collective, right? It's not necessarily to be a bad person or I want you to be in my same misery, right? But it can lead that way. But we're not gonna talk about that tonight. But yeah, a breakup, it's something, it's a situation in life, right? That it's giving you the opportunity. It's inevitable, right? It's just matter of focus. Like you're just paying attention to one side because of the emotion, and it's okay. It's not nothing wrong with it, right? But I often hear people how they ask me, or we're just like having a conversation, breakups, we'll go to the gym and do this and do this. Like they tackle it like an aggressive way. If it works for you, it works. But seldom times I think that's really what happened. People are just like not being real, and they're, kind of like making it, exaggerating something painful that apparently it was not that painful, but I think it is. I think it is. And when you recognize that it's painful and it's real, automatically you let it pass through you, right? Fast, right? And it pushes you to that breakthrough. Okay. Breakups equals breakthroughs, period. I know it's unbelievable to believe it, but it is true, right? So what's the catch? Is the catch is it's gonna be painful, right? It's going to be painful, uncomfortable, not physically, but mentally. Okay. And if it's mentally, it works with words. So you have to speak to yourself. If it was something physically, like if you break a hand or something's happened with your body, so you have to exercise. You have to go through like physical therapy, move your body, your bones, your ligaments, etc., etc. But because something mental, you have to talk to yourself. You have to talk to yourself that this is another situation that you're not familiar with. So your brain, your psyche, you know, gets your attention, and it automatically by default it prepares yourself, right? It's just inevitable. It's just so sounds easy when you went through it, right? But at the moment, it's just like, man, suffocate. Oh, and one thing, I have to make sure I say this, right? What's up? That makes sense. It does. Hey, what's up, Darren? And so one thing I forgot. One thing that I'm gonna write it down because this is happens to everybody, all races, colors, ages, and this is we all fall for this, right? And you have to tell yourself that breakups, okay, is something that you have to go through alone. I know. First thing as a man, you want to tell your brother, your sister, your cousin, your friend. And this is, we don't understand it. We don't get it at the moment. We think by asking help, especially with the people we know, relatives, friends, neighbors, whatever, it's going to be less painful. And let me tell you this, it's not. You're making it more painful. Absolutely. You're making it more painful, right? You're making it more painful. Okay. So it's one of these situations in life, like when you're eating something, drinking something, I cannot do it for you, right? I can tell you, hey, you want this pear, right? This apple, but you have to eat it, right? So much I can explain it to you, right? But you have to eat it. Like it's something that you have to go through alone. And this is something that I had to say it because sometimes we think, okay, if I tell my buddies, if I share with my friend, my brother, my sister, my mother, my father, it's going to be less painful. It is not, right? Unless it's just like, the law, 1%, the law of exception, always playing. There's a mentor that you don't know, a stranger that you just like feel it in your gut to share it. And that person he needs to keep it simple, needs to keep it simple and short. And it will be kind of like you will live and you go through, you're doing great. And that's it. If that's like something that it will come. But basically, it's just yourself, right? And you think, well, by me sharing it or talking about it with other people, it's just gonna help me. It's not. It's just like with this drug addicts and people who are fighting addictions. The more they talk about it, that's why I don't believe in all these systems, that help people uh, get out of addictions because every day you talk about them. And every day you talk about something, you embrace it and make it bigger. Okay. That's how it is. That's why people with money, businesses, they talk about money all the time. They talk about businesses, they talk about jobs, and that's what they know. And it grows. It just grows. That's the environment. Not all the time, sometimes, right? But yeah, it's one of the things that I had to throw in. It's like if you want to share it, it's not. It's just like nature. Like we think if I share with my buddy, he's gonna, it's gonna make it less painful, but not. It's gonna make it more painful. Why? I'm gonna say why. Because we think he has the answer for this. They don't have an answer for this. They don't. Okay. People who go through breakups, okay, whatever ages, it don't matter. Okay. People who go through divorces, breakups, anything that is painful to your heart, to your mind, you cannot ask for help because pain it's only in your body and your mind. Okay. I cannot say I feel your pain. That's just a soothing mechanism to cope with somebody who's going through something. But at the end of the day, when you catch up with those lies, you say, you know what, man, that's not how it is. That's not like if you really want to share something with somebody, that somebody needs to shut up and just listen and say nothing. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going through that breakup. I've been through breakups, but not right now. So you might be crying, you might be, in a painful situation talking to me. It's not gonna make it so much better, but it's gonna make it better if I don't have nothing to say because I'm not going through that pain, right? So you have to make sure that the people you're surrounding by, they're gonna keep it real. Okay. Whatever pain you're going through, all right, discomfort is only yours. Okay. Nobody understands it unless they've been through it, but they're not going through it at the moment. Okay. So don't expect some miracles to happen. You have to go through, and the more faster you go through, the better, because it's a breakthrough waiting for you. Absolutely right. Honestly, 100%. Absolutely right. But you have to talk to yourself when you're going through that discomfort. Okay. You have to talk to yourself out loud, not screaming, just out loud. Okay. Your mind, your mind, your psychic, people have it backwards. People say like, "Oh, I listen to my mind." No, your mind listens to you. Okay, whatever you're told your mind will do. It's not the other way around. It took me like 5, 8 years to understand that. You know, because if you're watching TV, you're surrounded with all this negativity, with all these people who are brainwashing you, programming you. So if you listen to your mind, then everything in your mind is being put by other people. It's not you. Okay, it's not you. It's not only you start to talk to yourself, those filters, those spider webs start breaking out, right? Fading away. Okay. And this is not, it only happens when you talk to yourself. Like I'm talking to you right now. It does. It does. Believe me, it does. Right. Thank you guys for support. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, boss. Can we talk about Latinas now? Latinas. Oh man. Well, you know what? I had kids with one, and I didn't make that mistake. Because I know about DNAs. DNA is a big thing. You need to study. About DNA lineages, ethnicities, races. It's kind of like when my grandfather used to say, when you breed. I'm not for example of a dog, but when you have a stud, right, or a stallion, a horse. People who know this, right, ranchers, people who know about horses, cattle, they know how to mix their races. Some stud, some big bull, a beautiful one, right, a legit one. They know what cows to breed it with, right? They just know it, and the result of it is just like very good offspring. Okay, but this is big. We're not gonna go through all of this, but just to answer this guy's question, Latinas, like I won't do. If you're a white dude, a black dude, you can do Latinas, but as a Latino, you can't do Latinas. In my view, you can't. You can't. If you're Latino or mix, you have to do white, European, Eastern European, woman, right? Can't do Latinas. You can't. You're mixing with the same blood. And as a Latino, you are a result of different races. So you need to understand that. Okay. And when you mix with the same race that's mixed, you're never gonna have something more legit, right? I know it's gonna offend a lot of people, but it's the truth. But once you, as a mixed guy, you can be Latino, Persian, or whatever, you're mixed, and you are really out of your race, the offspring, it's very, very different. You know, it's very, for me, it's just very mind blowing how the children are differently. It's just it is. It's just what it is. It's something you can't explain. You just have to live it. You have to know by knowing, by experience, right? And I just like I've been paying attention to the animal kingdom, and this is what you get, right? And but yeah, just to answer your question, I'm mixed. Okay, you're a mix. Okay, don't go with a Latina then. Don't go. If you're Puerto Rican, like you're Puerto Rican, don't go with a Latina. Go with a white girl. You know. But people think white girls is very broad. You know, topic. You have all Europe. You have even Asia to a certain extent. You know, but it's just it goes big. You know. But yeah, I have. You know, this time I had kids with a white girl. She's white and she's mixed with other things, but it's just different. I look at my kids; they're just different. You know, you can see it right away. They're just born with different gifts, different qualities, and it's just like the way it is. And people don't talk about this because it gets offensive. You know, especially there are a lot of people with victim mentality. They can't tolerate this kind of talk, right? But let's go back to the breakup thing, right? Well, if you break up, you know, now you know you don't go with the same kind of girls. That's one thing. Shows you right away with breakups. So let me tell you about breakups, man. Breakups, when you go to the breakup, it pushes you to a breakthrough, right? So it's a self-discovery, right? Now you're gonna say, okay, fuck this type of girls. No, no, you don't have to go like you pay attention to the kind of girls you're dating, right? Or having a relationship. And you might think this is what a lot of pickup artists, I disagree, and they don't say it because they want to keep their YouTube channel. They don't want to get fucking demonetized or something like that, right? But but they don't talk about this, but they think all women are the same. No, they're not. No, they're not. We all know this. There's certain races that they just don't act like other races. They just don't act like other people, right? Female nature is still female nature, of course. They have the potential to become a horrible person, but they have the potential to become a good foundation to society, right? At the end of the day. But in my personal opinion, if anybody who says that all women are the same races and ethnicities are the same, no, they're not. No, they're not. Period. They're not. But it's just people get uncomfortable and you know, you know, victim. But breakups, you know, it's always a good thing. It's always up the stairs to the pyramid. Okay. It's gonna come regardless. Okay. And anytime any man or person tries to avoid it at all costs, it's kind of like when you go to the gym, right? You're becoming bigger, you're getting stocky, you're getting like gaining more muscles, right? And then you have to buy new clothes, right? Because the old clothes that you when you were skinny fat, no longer fit you, right? And it's like you just like, no, I want that clothes. They still have to fit me. No, that's part of a past that leads you to now, to success. So now you're gonna go and buy new clothes because you gain muscle, right? You're bigger, okay? So that clothes has nothing to do with anything. It's no longer useful to you. At the moment, it was useful, but not no more. So that's how you start to tell the difference, right? From a breakup. You can't just say that I'm just going through this pain unnecessarily. No, it is necessarily because you're moving to a breakthrough. You're moving to self discovery. Okay. Like I said, when men want only one love, it's denying a universal truth, right? Love is not singular, it's plural. Okay. When you say, I just want one love, that's denying the universe. Okay. The universe is vast and big and it gives you, right? Lots of it, period. Okay. It's just universal truth. There's nothing you can do about it. Okay. It's just like water. All right. Use the water to your advantage. Okay. It's just the way it is. If you just want one love in your life, you're ignoring a universal truth. Okay. Love is plural, not singular. Okay. But at the moment, you don't know it because people don't talk about this. And if they do, they talk in a way they make you feel guilty. They make you feel like you're weak because you're going through a breakup. And they make you feel like you're responsible for a breakup. Not necessarily all the time, you are the one responsible for a breakup. It's not. It's not truthful that all the time you're going to a breakup, it was your fault because they left you. It's your fault. Or you left that person, is your fault. We will never know whose fault is it because there's nobody's fault. Okay. It's nobody's fault. It's just the nature of things. It has to be looked at a very molecular level, very close attention, how they live, when this happened. That's why I don't believe in therapy. I don't believe in certain people who think they can fix a marriage or a relationship just like this. It's not true. It's not unreal. Unless they're sleeping in the same bed, right? So they can know what's really going on, then you have, right, the right to give your opinion or to mentor something or someone through some breakup, right? But it's not happening, right? It's something individual, something that happens to you. Okay. It's when like you're a baby. If you have kids, I have kids. When they're a baby, it's not something they do something evil. They're growing teeth, right? They're gonna go through it. Why? Because there's gonna be a time they're gonna be eating, chewing steak, right? They're gonna be eating solids. Okay. I will be a fool if I will be praying, or I'll be like, why is my kid crying if he's teething? I want him not to cry. I just want him to not have teeth. No, it doesn't. It just be stupid, right? It would be stupidity. So that's how a breakup is, right? You have to go through it because you have to allow, okay, love, and love is plural, to come to your life and show you the other faces of the diamond. Okay. Like a diamond has many faces. Okay. You switch, you twist it, you flip it, the same diamond, different face. Okay. Same thing. Mhm. Are white girls and Latinas better? I mean, white girls, you know, white girls, if you're Latino, if you're white, then you will come good with a Latina, you know, if you're white. Right. Yeah, it's big, man. DNA, mixing DNAs, bloodlines. You'll be surprised. Government knows this. They know a lot of stuff. You know, there was a very controversial book that I read like 10 years ago about why, even though I don't believe in Jesus Christ so much how they describe in the Bible, but if that figure, that man existed back in the day, the reason it became so famous, it was not because of the crucifixion, it was because of his lineage, right? His lineage came from another planet. Okay, it was not the crucifixion. They want the this elites, they wanted to kill it like that so people can stop, searching and digging for more truth. So basically, Jesus Christ was a threat to the government, to politics at that time, because of his lineage. Okay. So this is why in the Bible they make it that he never had kids. Okay. Think about this one. They made it okay. Jesus Christ never had sex, but he did. Okay, and these shadow governments have been. That's why when you have a baby at the hospital, they always say, "Okay, we want extract, we want to withdraw blood from you, right? If you're sick, blah 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 blah." A lot of things are going on more than that. That tell you because we're gonna test if you have diabetes or any disease. But at the end of the day, that blood it's sent to other labs that we don't know about it. I know because I was incarcerated, so I know a lot of clandestine labs that people will talk about me around the world, right? So this is how they detect what bloodline you are. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why like people think like, oh, it's just about marrying anybody, about love. It's not. Actually, it's not. I've learned a lot with horses and bulls with my grandfather and uncles. It's not. Like if you have a ranch, okay, and you want to multiply it, you start a ranch, a farm or whatever you want to call it, of 100 cattle, right? Cows, bulls, whatever. So you want to multiply that to 500, 1,000. You're just not going to start mixing, breeding any kind of bull with any kind of cow. That doesn't go like that, right? You going to get your information right, and you're going to fucking buy this specific bull, all right, for this specific kind of cow, because you're gonna have a specific kind of offspring, calves. Okay, this is 100% true, man. With horses too, there's horses, right? They can trace their bloodline from hundreds of years. You think they don't do that with humans? They do that. They do that. But going back to the breakups, right? Okay, he did not. What's up? No, he did. There's no shadow government. Nah, there is. That's what I call shadow government, because not anybody can detect it and not everybody can say it that is there. All right. I didn't know about this until I went to prison, and I had to talk to a lot of people around the world who were extradited from another countries, politicians, a lot of them, and Freemasons and Illuminati, or a lot of them were just part of a cult. And I had conversations with these people, and it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing what they do, but we're just gonna stick to this area, right? To the positive things, you know. But it is truthful. That's why Jesus Christ of the Bible, it's been so powerful to this day, not because of the crucifixion, right? It's not about that. It's not. It's about, if you pay attention, it's all about the blood, the blood, the blood, but it's about the bloodline. Okay. The bloodline. To this day, there's certain people trying to trace what ancient bloodline do people have. Okay. Even the president has said it, you know, that he was impressed with Iran and the Persians, you know, what's happening right now. He was impressed about how these people are. But he even says it, if you pay attention, even though it's fake news a lot of times, but if you read between the lines, there's some truth in it, right? It's just you have to do reverse engineering. When somebody's lying, you have to do reverse engineering, okay? Within the lie, there's a truth, okay? Always. There's always, okay? And where a truth, there's a lie. They exist because it's bipolar, it's polarity, not bipolar, polarity. Right? It's contrast. It's just inevitable, inevitable. Day and light cannot. We it has to exist at the same time. When it's night right here, overseas on the other side of the world is day, vice versa. So it's the same with this shadow government. And I don't want to call it shadow government because it just makes it more conspiracy. It's just this people who have the technology and who have the enthusiasm to go and search bloodlines and to see like where people come from, because they know bloodline, everything is stored there. Okay, period. You're not going to have something powerful if you cannot prove it, right, in a molecular level. Okay, In other words, DNA. DNA, it's powerful. Okay. This is why you look how you look. Okay. This is why a dog looks like a dog, a horse looks like a dog. I mean, like a horse looks like a horse, and everything looks like it's supposed to look because DNA. Okay. But yeah, going back to breakups, right? A lot of people say, well, I haven't been to a breakup. I don't even have a girlfriend or a wife. Okay, cool. But still, it's this information will is still information that you want to keep in mind because it will happen, right? You need men need to understand that it's just inevitable to attract the opposite sex. This is why I disagree with a lot of pickup artists. And don't get me wrong, a lot of red pill knowledge, it's good. I'm not gonna lie, it is real informative and you can apply in your daily life. But there's certain things that obviously we're all humans, you're missing, right? And I tell a lot of guys, well, I don't even have a girlfriend. This guy was telling me, I don't even have a girlfriend. Like, okay, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna have one. Okay. So learning that a breakup, okay, is just like a baby, like a kid, right? Growing teeth. He's teething, right? It's gonna be painful, but it's for your own good. So you can be ready for solids, right? I can put that analogy, bro. I mean, I feel it's not that off. You know, if it's off, well, my bad. Those are what? No. Do you call it alone? Who you call it? Mind your business, Curve. So that's what's up, guys. You know, breakups, DNAs. See how's everything connected? Everything connected, you know, and we can talk about religion, DNA, government, relationship, and everything is just connected, right? In one way or another, because it has to be. It has to be. We cannot be disconnected. If we're disconnected, there will be no life. The only reason there's life, you are alive, I'm alive, people are alive, is because we're connected. But the catch, right, and the fun part, it's how are we connected? Okay. It's easy. We go through the same stuff. Okay. Okay. We need to sleep. We need to eat. We need to exercise. We need to have fun. Okay. We need companionship. We need to talk. We need to speak our mind. Okay. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of examples that I already gave that makes us connected. Okay. And breakup is not the exception. It's not. Okay. And I know sounds kind of like cliche or whatever you guys want like it's overrated, it's just corny, but it's not it's not funny, man. When you have a friend, I remember this guy. He came to me crying big time. I never saw him crying. Not old man, but he was man, right? In his 30s. He came crying. His nephew, he killed himself, right? Because his girlfriend didn't want to go to the prom with him. He was in high school. I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, and one of my questions was like, did you had conversations with him before this? Like, yeah, we will have fucking barbecues every Saturday. And I would tell him, like, bro, like if you had conversations with him every Saturday, what in the motherfucking mind were you guys talking about? All right? About nonsense? This is what I tell my brothers and friends. Like, I do believe in gatherings, bro, but when you just like waste your time in talking about stuff that doesn't matter a lot. I mean, small talk, I believe it. Okay, cool, right? We don't have to be serious all the time. But if you guys are not going to be talking about something that it's life changing, right? Putting you to another level, right? In life, another stage, okay? I don't see the purpose of talking to other people. Like you're already dealing with so much negativity and you're just gonna share your negativity with other people and other people are gonna share their negativity with you. So all you have is just negative stuff, right? Okay. It's not about avoiding negative, but you need to understand that negative doesn't exist without a positive and positive doesn't exist without a negative. Okay. One leads you to the other one and the other one leads you to another one. They're just hand by hand. Okay. And this is true. We have to accept. Okay? If you give you strength, resilience in your mind. Okay. When something bad happens, you just breathe. All right. Take a deep breath and you're going to say, this is going to take me to another, you know, step in the ladder, in the pyramid, whatever you want to call it. It's just inevitable. Okay. It just keeps getting better. People say it keeps getting worse. No, it's not. Not in my book. Mm. And there's a lot of theories about like things get better. Of course, you disagree, but that doesn't mean it's not getting better for other people, right? And let's talk about AI real quick before I go to fucking sleep, right? We're gonna talk about AI. What state you live in? Well, right now I'm in Arizona. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, but I'm here. I have some kids. Probably moving next year. I'm done with the sun. Not with the sun, but with sunny days. Right? It's too hot. I miss the snow. And so let's talk about AI. Okay, people think that this life, this world is just getting worse and worse. I disagree, big time. Right? I disagree. I disagree. It's just getting better. Okay, people think, well, how can you tell me it's getting better? Okay. First of all, it's always about belief systems. If I tell you AI is something great, you're gonna say no, it's gonna take over humans, they're gonna kill us. See, it's what people are programmed to think the worst, not the best. Okay. And I had to train myself to do this. I had to train myself to say that everything that happens is just to make me better, to make me the best version of me. And you can't take me out of that. You cannot take me out of that. Self introspection, even though I'm entitled for my own opinion, but when people think this is just going to get worse, it's their opinion, but my opinion is just going to get better. Okay. Just because you don't understand it at the moment, okay, you think it's getting worse. But this stuff is getting better and better. Okay. Just because you don't understand, okay, what's happening. Whoa, AI is the devil. And then it just gets superficial, it gets superstitious, and it's just lame. Okay. I'm gonna put you a quick example. All right. There was a friend who was sharing some legal matter that he was going through. And I tell him, I'll do some homework on that one, right? But he said, "Are you a lawyer? You're gonna ask a lawyer? These times we don't need them no more. Okay. Now, if you're a lawyer, an attorney, a prosecutor, a judge, you kind of don't like these times to a certain extent. Why? Because people don't rely on another human no more. They're going to be relying on artificial intelligence. Okay. I can literally, okay, download, search for a motion, how to file a motion, a complaint, a federal, whatever you want to call any code, any statute, anything. Okay. It's going to give it to me. Artificial intelligence is going to give it to me without being emotional. Mhm. And people think like, no, but that's not bad. No, in my opinion, I know I'm not the only one. It's great times because now guess what? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, you will have to rely on a man. Okay. You will have to rely on his truth if he was telling you the truth. Now, these days, you can't hide the truth no more because we have AI. Okay. And I think it's a great thing. Okay. Is something bad on that good that is happening? I told you there's no negative without all positive. There's no positive without a negative. Of course, there's going to be. Okay. Of course. Mhm. Let's see, you're cutting an onion. Okay. You're not a chef. You're not skilled on the knife. You cut yourself. You cannot blame the knife. You can't blame the knife, guys. I'm here to share with you my truth to program your own mind. Okay. and understand that things are getting better regardless if you understand them or not. Okay. Matter of fact, people have the opinion that it's getting worse because they're unfamiliar. There's so much information that they're overwhelmed with the emotions. They're overwhelmed and they don't know how to act. Okay. But a guy like me and other people who have been in tribulations and chaos, when you see so much information, right, at the reach of your fingers, it can't get better than this. It cannot get better than this. Okay. It cannot. Mm. Now, these days, it's harder to gatekeep. Okay. Back in the day, they gatekeep because what? Okay. The internet was limited. Okay. Certain information was not available. Now, almost everything you want to know is available. Now, everything that you're searching not necessarily means that's the truth. But what I'm trying to convey is that you have more options of sources to go and extract the information that is truthful to you. Okay. I I I don't feel weird, but at work and one of my last jobs, I thought they were gonna fucking beat me up or something, you know. And I was not sharing my opinion. They asked my opinion, and I said, I love it. I love artificial intelligence, bro. You guys don't understand. These days, when you see an ignorant person, it's its own fault. Okay, it's not the government. It's not the neighborhood, the community, your dad, your mom, the schools. Okay. Now, these days, if you are a stupid idiot, illiterate person, is by choice. Okay. It's by choice. Mm. 40, 50 years ago, 30, 20 years ago. Okay. It was still by choice. I'm going to be a little bit, enthusiastic about this, right? Optimistic, but you still were limited with resources. Okay. You cannot access to what a lawyer knows, a doctor knows. Now you can type, there's different apps in artificial intelligence when you can tap. Okay. You can go to your little locker, whatever you have, in your bathroom, get some medication. If you use medication, I don't use medication. Type all the ingredients. Okay. Type them in that artificial intelligence, they're going to give you exactly what all that stuff is. Okay. And don't rely on one app only. I compare. This is so cool, man. It cannot get better than this, honestly. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't understand people getting depressed and sad about we getting replaced by robots. I mean, literally, if your self esteem is so low, okay, and you're so ignorant that you're gonna think that you're gonna be replaced by a robot, then you should be replaced by a robot, honestly. Like if you think like me, I think I'm so super fucking cool, right? And neutral and understanding, right? That when they say you're gonna be replaced by a robot, I laugh. I laugh my ass off. I'm like, what? A robot? No. He's gonna be working for me. Hey, pick up that. Clean that. Hey, what's up? What does this word mean? Blah blah blah. You know, we can be buddies at the end of the day. But for me to be fearful that I'm going to be replaced by a robot, that tells you who the person is, man. Period. That tells you, right? Period. I'm so glad and happy that artificial intelligence is here. I'm so glad, right? Why? Because now all these professionals, right, gatekeepers of truths, information, they can't hide it no more. Ta-da! They can't. And for me, woo, like I said, it cannot get better than this. Well, it can't. It can't. It can't get better than this. But I'm just saying, metaphorically, like it's just awesome. I don't care what anybody's saying, right? So going back to this guy, he was having a legal matter. So I did the homework for him, and I put it in a piece of paper. And he was like, "What? I didn't know you were an attorney. I'm not an attorney, motherfucker. I wouldn't be working here." Okay, is just a artificial intelligence? I just know how to. You just need to know how to search it. Okay, you just need to know how to type it, how to look for it, how to go about it. Okay, and this is how you're gonna answer. All right, to your landlord. This is how you're gonna do certain things. And watch the magic. Okay, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. The only people who can be mad are managers, supervisors, landlords, realtors, right? Mechanics, what else? Bankers, mm, politicians. Mm. And if that doesn't make you happy, I don't know what does, and I don't care. Me, knowing that a lot of professionals, right, they're against artificial intelligence, it's just fucking like the song. It just gives me the goosebumps, right? In a good way, right? Because now I know what they know. Mm, okay, to a certain extent, for the most part. Okay, and if that doesn't excite you, okay, like I said, I don't know what will. It's not my business. That's your business. Okay, but for me, okay, on this year, I'm alive, and to have a device in front of me, all right, that can give me the answers, okay, without relying on somebody that is gonna take my money just like that. And it's not that I want to be cheap. Okay. I'm a believer that whatever's worth paying is worth paying. Okay. You want good stuff, good quality, pay it so you don't have to buy it repeatedly all the time. Okay. But we know it doesn't work like that with a lot of people. But now these days, they can tell you, well, it's this and this. You go to your apps, you go to that artificial intelligence and ask it, what is this? Boom. I tell you, you can't be ignorant. Only ignorant people are mad at these times. Even though artificial intelligence is exposing a lot of corruption, still. What's up, Shark King? 10 a.m. I know, guys. I probably tomorrow want to make it earlier. I wasn't like, I've been working some other legal matters and some other stuff, and that's why I haven't shoot a stream. But I'm gonna be doing it earlier because I know that here in Arizona it's just like the time frame it's different from other states. But if I start streaming at 8 in another part of the state, in another part of the country, it'll be like 9 or 10. So I think it works. If I can do it at 7, I'll do it at 7. You know, I think it's better time. All people, if whatever people start watching at 9 or 8 p.m., 9 p.m., I think it's a good time. Yeah. But yeah, guys, breakups lead to breakthroughs, right? I'm gonna wrap it up with this one. Okay. It's getting better. The symptoms of a situation getting better is corruption is being exposed. Okay. People don't see it like that. Okay. Please, please stop for a second, breathe. Okay. First trait, first symptom, first clue, first proof that something is getting better is corruption is exposed. Okay. Sounds pretty obvious, Alex. Well, yes, but I need to put it illustrated. When you thought that everything was good, the corruption already existed. How can you say those were good times? Okay. You can't. Okay. When corruption is exposed, right? When the pot is stirred, when people are being thrown to jail for touching water, for saying this, for just mentioning a name, a race, a nationality, people say these are bad times. No, these are great times because this is what people and corruption are giving you. It's in front of you. Embrace it. Don't panic. Don't get emotional. Okay. That's the most greatest thing you will experience when corruption is exposed. Are you going to get mad? Of course. Right? Getting mad is the first symptom of getting reprogrammed. Okay. You feel some type of way because you're being lied to. And now these people are not going along what they said. It's nothing surprising. People have been like that all the time. Okay. You have to focus and be aware if you are going along what you're saying that you're going to do. All right. It's you. All right. I'm going to wrap it up. Everything's getting better. Artificial intelligence is one of the greatest things that a human being can experience. Okay. Period. Mm, mm, period. Even, even if these people have a hidden agenda to overthrow humanity, to put something, some fucked up software on a robot to do some bad things, guess what? Right? At least you were aware of it. That's the great thing. It's not going to be by surprise. Told you AI was evil. All right, good. You knew it. Okay. Now do your thing. All right. Everything's getting better, guys. That's how it is. All right. Old times are good, but new times are better. Okay. That's how it is. Good night, fellas.